It starts with a shift in the digital climate. Messages that used to flow freely become brief, infrequent, and strained. Eventually, a heavy silence settles over a connection that, only days ago, seemed to be thriving. Faced with this void, the brain searches for the most logical explanation. Without feedback, we conclude that the distance is a clear signal of lost interest. This conclusion often triggers a panic response. We feel the urge to bridge the gap by sending double texts, asking for explanations, or over-explaining our actions in a desperate attempt to fix a problem we can't quite define. This retreat often signals an internal struggle. When emotions grow faster than a person can safely process, the mind treats that intensity as a threat to its equilibrium. Treating this protective behavior as a sign of apathy is a common error. Reacting to the shield as if it were a rejection usually accelerates the very breakdown we're trying to prevent.
The first layer of defense is the conscious shield. This is a deliberate attempt to slow things down by building a wall the moment the emotional tension becomes palpable. The distance creates a buffer. By stepping back, she attempts to regain a sense of control that her own feelings have started to erode. This diagram illustrates the structural conflict. As the red line of emotional investment climbs, it eventually triggers the ego's safety response. The blue barrier drops to halt the momentum and restore a sense of individual security. To maintain this barrier, she might adopt a flat or even cold exterior. It is an effort to mask the internal vulnerability that usually accompanies deep attraction. This fortress is an internal management tool. She is guarding her own emotional stability against a feeling that has become unexpectedly powerful. Suppression is rarely perfect. Excess emotional pressure creates subconscious leaks. The first is digital, ignoring your texts but instantly viewing social media updates. The second is physiological, sudden shyness, fidgeting, or uncharacteristic sarcasm. Lastly, mirroring, subconsciously adopting your posture, phrases, or vocal tone. These synchronized behaviors indicate that her nervous system is reacting to yours, even while her words remain distant. Because these movements happen without conscious thought, they provide a clearer picture of her internal state than her deliberate silence does. While the conscious mind is busy trying to enforce a gap, the subconscious is actively seeking a way to reconnect. When emotional tension is suppressed internally, it often finds an outlet through displacement. The energy simply moves to a different environment. This results in the external release, where the conflict she's feeling begins to affect her social circle. Often, your name will start appearing in her conversations with friends. Even in contexts where it doesn't quite fit, you remain a recurring theme in her thoughts. You may also notice strange reactions from her friends, like knowing smiles, or sudden quietness, or playful teasing when you are mentioned. They are reacting to a narrative she's been sharing behind the scenes. These external ripples suggest that you are occupying a significant amount of her mental energy, regardless of how quiet she is being in your presence. If you feel a lingering connection despite the current silence, it is likely because the emotional impact you've made is still very much active. The most effective way to navigate this is to avoid the urge to chase. When someone has their shield up, any pursuit is viewed as a fresh intrusion. Pressuring a person who is afraid of losing control only validates that fear. It gives them a concrete reason to strengthen their defenses. Instead, offer total space. By remaining stable and making no demands, you allow her the environment necessary to work through her own internal conflict. As the perceived pressure disappears, her fear often subsides. When she sees you are comfortable without her, her need for protection gives way to curiosity. Strength in this dynamic comes from understanding that silence isn't always an end. Sometimes it's just the sound of someone trying to find their balance.